Ever feel like you just need more hours in the day to get your most important work done? Well, what if I told you the secret to peak productivity isn't about getting more time, but about getting more intensity? Today, we're going to unlock a really powerful technique for building insane focus, and it's inspired by one of history's most energetic figures. So, it all starts with this puzzle, really. We're looking at a young Theodore Roosevelt, way back in his Harvard days. And the big question is, how did this guy, who seemed to be doing literally everything except studying, still manage to pull excellent grades at one of the top universities in the world? It's a paradox for sure, but it holds an absolutely brilliant lesson for all of us.
All right, let's really dive into this. Because to get the secret, you first have to understand the sheer scale of this paradox. I mean, it's not just that he was a little busy. The guy's schedule was just, well, completely bonkers.
And just look at the list of his interests. We're talking boxing, wrestling, dance lessons, poetry readings. He was even a published naturalist. His first book on birds was actually well received by experts at the time. All of this while still pulling in honor grades. Seriously, how is that even possible?
Okay, get this. This is the real kicker. According to his biographer, Edmund Morris, Roosevelt spent no more than a quarter of his day on his actual studies. Just 25%. Let that sink in. This wasn't some student burning the midnight oil. This was a guy who seemed to have figured out how to manufacture time out of thin air. So, how'd he do it? Well, the answer wasn't about the quantity of hours he was putting in. No, it was all about the quality of his focus during those hours. And this quote from his biographer just nails it. When Roosevelt decided to study, he studied. His concentration was absolute. There were no distractions, no half measures. It was just a full-on cognitive sprint. He wrung every last drop of value out of every single minute he dedicated to his work. So here's the big takeaway. He instinctively understood this fundamental rule of productivity. High-quality work isn't just about the time you spend. It's the time you spend multiplied by your intensity of focus. So, by maxing out his intensity, he was able to radically, and I mean radically, reduce the time he needed. Now, this isn't just some fun historical anecdote. The author Cal Newport actually took this idea and turned it into a powerful, modern technique. The best way to think about it, it's like high-intensity interval training, HIIT, but instead of for your body, it's for your brain. Newport calls the state Roosevelt was reaching deep work. He defines it as professional activity you do in a state of completely distraction-free concentration that pushes you right to your cognitive limits. This is the kind of work that creates real, breakthrough value, and you know what? It's incredibly hard to do in our noisy world. And the technique to train this ability, well, that's what he calls the Roosevelt Dash. The core idea is simple. You use self-imposed, aggressive deadlines to force your brain into that state of deep work. You're basically training your attention centers, building up that mental muscle for intense focus. And the benefits here are just fantastic. Each dash is like a rep in the gym for your brain. You're building that mental muscle. It absolutely crushes procrastination because there's simply no time for it. By working so efficiently, you literally manufacture free time, just like Roosevelt did. And the best part? This method is completely incompatible with distraction. You either focus or you fail the dash. Simple as that. So, you want to try it? Awesome. It's actually a pretty simple 4-step process. Let's walk through how you can run your very own Roosevelt Dash right now. Okay, first things first, pick one high-priority task that requires real, deep thought. Second, be honest with yourself. How long would it normally take you? An hour? 2 hours? Got it? Okay, third, and this is the key, set a hard deadline that is drastically shorter. A deadline that feels almost impossible. Then finally, you go. Attack that task with just teeth-gritting concentration. No email, no social media, no getting up for coffee, just pure, unwavering focus until that timer goes off. And as we've mentioned, this whole amazing framework comes to us from Cal Newport's phenomenal book, Deep Work: Rules for Focused Success in a Distracted World. He dedicates a whole section to this exact strategy, framing it as a way to systematically level up the intensity you can bring to your work. Honestly, it's an essential read for anyone trying to get stuff done in our crazy, distracted world. And that brings us to the end of our explainer. But really, it's the beginning of your practice. This isn't just theory, it's a practical tool you can start using today. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. What's that one important, high-value task you've been putting off? Maybe it's time to give it the Roosevelt Dash.